How are we doing, everybody? Smile. Let me see those chiclets, because you're about to embark on a full episode of the You're Still Here podcast. Let me see them teeth. Let me see them pearly. How pearly are those whites? Because if you're like everybody that I'm seeing around, they are very pearly white. Now, my guess is you're not an influencer, a celebrity, an athlete, a social media personality, a whatever. But if you were, I think you must be getting this group deal that all of entertainment and sports and everyone is getting on Veneers, because that's what I'm going to open up talking about. Last week or last month or last episode, I told you how I saw that movie Smile 2, and I said it was kind of like, it's almost like an Instagram undertone of the Botox smile you see all over Instagram. That's what the smile from Smile 2 is. Well, I think Smile 3 is going to be about the veneer society that we are currently becoming. Have you guys been looking around? I finally am starting to have some of this confirmed because I'm seeing meme pages post about it. I've been seeing some memes. I'm like, you know what? Finally, it's not me. People who have perfectly straight teeth, people who absolutely don't need the help of a veneer. Like if my dad wanted veneers, that's fine. You're talking about an Eastern European, didn't value teeth, probably didn't come here with a toothbrush, didn't know what gingivitis is, tooth decay. Sorry, Dad. But if he wanted veneers, green light it. I mean, my dad must have fake teeth. I know he had multiple teeth pulled at one point. That's who could use some veneers. But Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, these people had the best teeth to begin with. All the celebrities, like these people had full braces, Invisalign perfect teeth.
Come on.
And weirdly enough, when you get Invisalign, you get braces, you have a nice smile, and it is perfectly straight, but something about it remains your own. It could still be your smile. However, this current universal smile, this Jim Carrey in the mask smile, which is what all these people look like who get these veneers, these long horse tooth smiles, like when these people smile, when veneer people smile, it looks like that ding actually happens on their teeth that you would see in cartoons. I don't get the allure of it. You can clearly tell. You know, when people had braces and stuff, you always want, like, man, it looks like they had braces, but I don't know. But those are some damn nice teeth. Think about a random celebrity. You know, who's somebody that everybody used to love years ago? I was never a big Jennifer Aniston guy. Go ahead. You guys are just going to go nuts over Jennifer Aniston. There's one of those in every single town. I don't know, go watch her smile in your favorite movie then. That one with Vince Vaughn. Is that The Breakup? I bet you she has perfectly straight teeth. I don't know if she was one of these veneer people, but, you know, probably she will be if she isn't already. But, like, I saw Matt Stafford. The weird thing is, what you don't realize is subconsciously, like, I would have never thought, if you asked me to guess, do you know what Matt Stafford's teeth look like? I'd be like, I don't know. No. How am I going to know what his teeth look like? But I saw him with the Jim Carrey mask teeth. I'm like, that's not what his teeth looked like. And I remember he had just the slightest, like he had straight teeth, but the slightest beginnings of an overlap. And there's a weird thing. When you know what someone's teeth looked like, I think it's a little too late. You can't be fully bald at the end of season 1 of a show and come back with a full head of hair, one of the Turkish transplants, when you've already been established as a bald guy. There's a weird critical junction. There's a critical threshold that you cannot go past where it's too late. You can straighten your teeth. You can have your real teeth. Am I talking about this too long? Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to, everyone's morphing into the same person. Not everyone. Everyone who can afford it is morphing into the same person. Everyone's getting Botox. Everyone's getting the mask smile with veneers. All of public-facing society is morphing into the same person. And yet us donkeys, like the ugly people, the poor people, they're just looking exactly the same with the same rickety teeth they had to begin with. There's like a, you know how wild people believe in like the lizard society? Well, there isn't a lizard society, but there's going to be a Botox Jim Carrey mask teeth society that's quickly starting to grow. Who can? But it's just a little weird, okay? These are one that, you thought you see it on TikTok. Maybe there's just a bright teeth filter, but it's made its way into our lives. Assuming TikTok is still going to be around, because is it being banned? I think they've been waiting on this ban for about 4 years. The fake TikTok ban. Did that happen yet? Did it happen for like 5 minutes and then they got rid of it? I never really know, because regardless, TikTok, I understand that it's popular, and I still maintain what I said since day one. People on TikTok, including the whoever the hell, the boom brother, the boom guy, boom this, boom that, it's like contestants on a game show. It's not true performers. Like I told you, you get dropped into the backseat of somebody's car as they're like on their way to a date. Now, let me tell you what this guy said to me before. It's so weird. You get dropped into random people's life. Some girl's doing her makeup before she goes out. Like, oh my God, do you know what he said to me? It's what the hell? What the hell is going on here? What am I watching? It's not like you're watching these and look, TikTok's massive. I'm sure, there's stand-up comedy clips there. If you follow something, I'm sure you'll see the things that you like. But I just see random people, like I've just been dropped into a random person's life.
I mean, complain all you want.
I just never really got too much on the bandwagon. But with that said, it's not like Instagram turned itself into, oh, are they banning TikTok? Come over here. Come over here. I don't know if you've seen that stand-up joke from Dan Soder about how Instagram kind of just rats on your friends. Like, oh, you see this Instagram thoughts picture liked by 33,005 people. And Will and Tom. Like, it rats out the people that you interact with. And now, I don't know if you saw this. This actually is hysterical, because I ended up being wrong about it. If you're watching a video on Instagram now, on the very top right, you would assume, oh, those are my friends who liked this video, because it shows you your friends, like their icons, with the heart symbol next to it. So the natural progression of thoughts would say, those are my friends who like this video. Because I had an instance, I was dying laughing. I got shown your classic stick your ass out Instagram model. So there's this girl with a big ass on my screen, and I'm seeing all the people that I would think, you shouldn't be liking this dude. My old boss, people have been married 10 years. I'm like, these are the people liking this? Oh my God, I hope their wife isn't seeing the same exact thing I'm seeing when I see this video of who likes it. It turns out Instagram implemented a feature that you can just start watching things that your random friends liked. But in order to get there, you have to click on their icons, which happen to be on a video, and it's extremely misleading. That makes you think that they like the video. So the people who I thought clicked on that double tap the girl's ass video, it was just Instagram suggesting, hey, if you want to watch what your friends already liked, here you go, which is also scummy though. I don't want to know. I take that back. If I was them, I wouldn't want someone else to know just a full row of what I was liking. I don't want anybody to know what I was liking. I already implemented, you know how many people, they got in trouble with their significant others? Like, oh my God, you followed her. She's a this, that. How does that look? You like her picture on this. I think there should be the option when you follow somebody that, so you click follow, right? And it's not just following. It says private or public. You choose if you want your follow to show up on her list and able to be seen by other people. If you want to snake and sneak and click, you should have the option to do it privately if Instagram was looking out for people. Now, Instagram, they like stirring the pot. They'll do anything for that engagement. You're losing to TikTok, I'll stir up stuff with your girlfriend. I'll start putting likes right on ass videos just to get things going. We need some extra clicks over here. I'll do what's necessary to make those happen. And that's what I've been seeing on Instagram lately. Been a while since I posted, but I think I'll take maybe a piece of this episode while I have some time and put it on there, because I have plenty of time to do things with this awful weather continuing to reign supreme in the winter. I told you it was going to happen. Best fall of my life ever since childhood. It was a top 2 fall guaranteed. I knew it was going on the weather credit card, and this has been exactly the crusty kind of winter that I thought it would be. And I know right now, I know I have some Canadian viewers, and I know some guy in Edmonton was like, you think you have it bad? You're a full country below me. The difference between you and Georgia is the difference between me and you have the audacity to complain. I understand, sir. You're in Edmonton. Oh, you're in negative 12 and I'm in 8. Oh my God. No, we're both miserable. We have nothing to do. And I don't expect this to end anytime soon. Definitely not for you. I mean, you know, it was June, Stanley Cup. People were still wearing jackets. But I've stated many times on this podcast for years now, years. Every time in the news, you know, you see, oh my God, it's 74 degrees on December 5th. It's global, global, global. What's the word? You finish it. You said it, not me. I call it global shifting. I think there was a gross miscalculation by Gregorian, the creator of our current calendar, the Gregorian calendar. I've stated this for years. This guy, he miscalculated so poorly that every 4 years we have to add a day because he didn't want to go back and do his original work. So we have that miscalculation. So now the calendar just slowly starts shifting to the right. Is global shifting. And now you're getting snow in Yankee Stadium, game 10 of the year, blah, blah, blah. You've heard this from me before. So why am I bringing it up again? Because if there was any doubt in the back of my mind, if I needed any last confirmation, I didn't need any more confirmation. The confirmation is right outside the door every single week, but I got that final stamp of confirmation that I needed. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor and go back in your calendar. Go back to the year, what, like 1980? No. Try 1582. Go back to 1582. And why don't you go to the best month of the year? For me, at least. You know, my favorite month? What ranks number 1? October. Go to October of 1582. And do you want to know who was born on October 10th of 1582, by the way? Nobody, because the day doesn't exist. October 10th, this sounds like I'm talking about something from Back to the Future. October 10th of 1582 does not exist, along with 9 other days. Why is that? Because Gregorian's miscalculations were so bad that he had to look behind him and go, oh, shit. Not only do we have to add a day every 4 years, you actually have to go back to like 2 years ago and just remove those 10 days. You got to take out 10 days from October. They never happened. There are 10 days missing from the calendar. And I need to know, how is this not public knowledge? I mean, I'm not a true scholar by any stretch of the imagination, but I know a couple treat things about a couple treat things. And that's something that I should have known. How do I go through, you know, I go to high school, top 60 university. I didn't know 10 days were missing from the calendar. Why was this not the episode? The first episode of Unsolved Mystery. What happened to the 10 days of October of 1582? Hi, there are 10 days missing in 1582. Maybe you knew that. Maybe you know. I didn't know it. I did not know there are 10 days missing in October of 1582. And it cements that Gregorian was all over the place. Let's cut him some slack before you're going to get mad like I did initially. My friend looked at me and said, you know, he didn't really have a ton to work with, did he? And I said, you're right. I do need to cut Gregorian some slack, but we're sitting here. We're turning forward an hour, going back an hour, not in Arizona. Speaking of Arizona, by the way, guess where I'll be going? Arizona in a couple of weeks. Oh, are you going there for like spring training? No, I'm just going for zero humidity warmth. That's why I'm going, to escape the miserable winter. It's not the Edmonton winter, but it's still a disgusting one. Well, then you want to escape? Why don't you just go to an escape room? Oh, maybe because they're absolute What the hell is an escape? Do you really, regular people go to escape rooms? Because I just need to believe this is something that they only do on TV. I almost refuse to believe that people go and voluntarily do something like this. Why? Oh, because I want to escape from a room. Where's this room that you're going to escape from? Oh, it's on 59th Street between 1st and 2nd. That's not an escape room. You don't get to choose a room that you're going into. I'm going to go into my bedroom and it doesn't work like that. You want a real escape room? Go fly to Russia, sneak in some CBD gummies, then escape out of that. Let me see you get out of that escape room. That's an escape room. No, you said you said it, not me. I'm not going to the escape room. You said you're MacGyver, you're a wizard, you're a master of escapes. When people give you situations, you always can think your way out of them. So we're going to have you join Scientology? Get out. Escape. See if you can get away from Miscavige. That's what you should do. Look, I've said the same thing about people who go like camping. Oh, I want to be in the wilderness. I need to be in the wilderness. I enjoy the wilderness, and I do this by going on a pre-paved area by people, and I can even watch the Super Bowl on my iPhone 8. I can watch Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl from my camping site in nature. I'm going to bring my little pot, and I'm going to cook some Campbell's soup in my pot. That's not the wilderness. That's not camping. It's why I don't do any of that. Well, there are a multitude of reasons, one of which are the mosquitoes, but another reason is that, it's mostly a scam. You want to go to the wilderness? You go to North Sentinel Island, and then you can't even write me a postcard back. You want to know why? Because you're in the wilderness. So, no escape rooms, no camping. What do you like, Andy? A great many things. I'm a simple man with a simple, but what do? Valentine's Day just happened. Oh, do I need to go to the chocolate factory and hang off a balloon? Do I need to give a woman the Charlie Bucket experience? No, you want to know what I want to do? I just want to stay home, order some food, I'll watch Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day. And no, I'm not talking about the Taylor Swift 2010. I'm talking about the 2001 Valentine's Day, the scummy horror movie Valentine's Day with David Boreanaz. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what sounds alluring to me. Oh, you never heard of that movie? Well, it's one of the most brilliant masterpieces ever written. Here's some of the brilliant writing.
Surprise.
You brought me up here to show me your penis. Oh, that's so sweet.
Well, what are you waiting for, honey? Wax it.
That's what you do on Valentine's Day. You get it waxed, and then you order some food. And obviously, if you order food on any holiday, Valentine's Day, make sure you take care of the guy who's delivering you the food on Valentine's Day or whatever holiday. What do you think he wants to be doing? He's bringing food. I mean, he's got 1 million orders, and every single time he drops off an order, who does he see open the door? Oh, just another couple who he's never going to be with. That's all he sees. Like, wow, look at that couple doing exactly what I want to be doing. So make sure you take care of them. Especially, it's a busy night. Also, I told you about the weather. It's miserable weather, especially if you're in any cold city. You got to be taking care of someone, especially sometimes you see that, like, you check your Uber and somebody will be bringing you your food on a bike, middle of a snowstorm. They're on their bike, right? Wrong. They're not on their bike. What they are on is our scam of the week.
It's a scam.
That's a scam.
What a scam that was.
So this was all a scam, huh?
It's the Uber Eats bike tipping scam, where you order something on Uber Eats, Grubhub, Seamless, whatever your preferred ordering platform is, and you see that person delivering it to you, right? You see them on that little interactive map, and you see them on that bike. So you're like, oh my God, this guy's biking that all the way here? What, 9 miles he's biking that here? And what do? You get that huge tip ready for him because you're like, if he's biking that, I mean, that's just something else. Until you look out the window and you realize, wait, there's a car there. They choose the bike option knowing that you're more likely during bad weather and holidays to give them even more based on the fact that they biked it all the way over to you. Yeah, that's right. They're in a car. They claim they're on a bike just to maximize that tip out of you. It's the Uber Eats bike tipping scam. And I've seen it happen to me before. Not on Not on Valentine's Day, but it's happened. And it will continue to happen. So, look, I don't know what kind of stickler you want to be. I don't know how much you care. I don't like somebody doing something like that intentionally. All right? I'm a generous tipper to begin with. Now you start showing me that bike because you want a couple extra dollars in there? No, I'm not falling for it. I need to see that bike. Just poke out that window and make sure you see that guy right away on his Pee Wee Herman bike. So that's the Uber Eats bike tipping scam. So anyway, we watched Valentine's Day. After that was over, I mean, there's only so many awful movies I can subject this woman to. So after that, we ended up watching this show that has infiltrated my social media. I'm sure it's infiltrated a bunch of your social media. Regardless, you know how these social media platforms, they're designed to only show you, like, oh, I only will double tap videos of people playing early 1990s Monopoly. Those are the only videos I will like. Anything else, I'm not clicking. Yet it will show you some things that it just wants to force on you regardless. There was obviously the double boom, Boom Brothers, dad, son, those guys. And the latest one for me, I don't know if it's been that way for you, is a show called Baylen Out Loud, which is a show. It's about a girl living with Tourette's and all the trials and tribulations associated with living with Tourette's. And, outside of that one scene from Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, there hasn't been that much attention brought to anybody living with Tourette's on a mainstream basis. Now, with that said, I do want you to know I have a big heart. I have empathy for anybody going through any situations, other than people who already have straight teeth and then they get these big mask veneers. But a guy going bald, I have empathy for.
You're bald.
With that said, there's something in there. It's hard to put my finger on.
My mom has hemorrhoids.
That I don't like about Tourette's.
My dad killed Osama bin Laden.
Look, there's obviously an issue there. There's an issue there.
Joe Biden's buried in my backyard after snorting cocaine off of a zebra during the Revolutionary War of 1812 and English in the Great Depression in the 1920s. We did it, Joe.
There's a neurological issue there. I just have a slight hard time believing a certain amount, the extra bit of Tourette's isn't a little bit self-inflicted. Like one episode, there were a bunch of people with Tourette's talking to each other like,
my ticks don't look like your ticks don't look like Callum's ticks.
My ticks don't look like, yeah.
But we all have Tourette's?
There's a guy who randomly coughed, and he was in there saying, well, yeah, one person is going, this Baylen girl is saying the wildest things out of nowhere.
Hi, everybody. My name is Baylen, and I have a 9-inch penis. God damn.
This guy, every once in a while, goes, yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, he just has a slight cough.
I have a coughing tick.
You have a vagina.
That's his Tourette's. You can't be putting them at the same table. Those people can't go into the doctor. A guy just goes, and then somebody's saying,
Joe Biden's buried in my backyard after snorting cocaine off of a zebra during the Revolutionary War of 1812 and the Great Depression in the 1920s. We did it, Joe. Woo!
There's a slight difference in that. Anyway, she was asked if there are any ticks, because she has a boyfriend, a non-ticking boyfriend. Oh, God, that's not the term. When they have sex and they both concurrently, at the same exact time, they were like, never. No ticks during sex, which the reason I was skeptical to begin with, and I said, I feel like a lot of this is, there's a Dane Cook stand-up joke where he talks about going to the DMV. And, enough time has gone by here. It's been like 2 decades. I don't think that I'm like spilling any material here. I don't think Dane's going to get too mad at me if he sees this. He'll probably appreciate me sharing it. And he talks about going to the DMV. He goes, when you go to the DMV, he goes, there should just be somebody waiting there to punch you in the face. Why is that? Because everyone hates going to the DMV. But then after you get hit, it's like, oh my God, I thought I hated the DMV until I got punched in the face. Now waiting at the DMV is not that bad. It's like a distraction technique. I get itchy when I get out of the ocean. I get real itchy. One time I was so itchy that I just started running. Then I was really out of breath from running and the itchiness went away. So I stopped running, but the itchiness came. So I started running. it can only, your mind and body can only deal with so much. Something tells me if this woman was on the Titanic and she jumped off into that negative 100-degree water, you wouldn't hear,
Is there anyone alive out there?
if Albanians broke into her apartment in the movie Taken and she had to hide, or she was going to be sold into sex traffic, you think when they were just tiptoeing around the apartment, she'd be going, God damn!
Peace up, A-Town. John 312's come back.
They're there. I can hear them.
God damn. God damn. My dad killed Osama bin Laden. My name is Baylen, and I have a 9-inch penis. God damn. God damn. God damn.
You want to hear something real arrogant? If I had Tourette's, I feel like I think I can trick my way out of it. Like my first thought is buy an inversion table. I'll hang upside down for 3 hours. Let's get the blood rushing the opposite direction. Get yourself a cold plunge. And then that's freeze, heat, upside down. I'm doing anything.
My mom has hemorrhoids.
Anyway, I wish nothing but the best for this girl. This isn't like the Boom guys. I hate those guys. I do not hate this chick. I was just looking at Tourette's from a distance saying, huh. Oh, yeah? Okay. All right. We'll see how it ends up. We'll see. Hey, look, God might throw a lightning bolt and I might start be ticking tomorrow. Hopefully not. It wouldn't be too dissimilar from many things that have happened to me in my past. I've told you guys my whole life is screw job, prevent, defense. And that comes from a long line of screw jobs. You grow up around cutthroat individuals. You do things to screw them and they do things to screw you. You want to hear a quick story that I've never told you guys? And here's how it's verifiable. You can actually type this into your computer and see for yourself. One of my good friends, I was the fantasy football commissioner in my hometown Friends Fantasy Football League. This guy just always in the group text, jabbing me, saying stuff, always saying stuff. And because I like to think I have more of a heart than most of my cutthroat friends, I try to be creative with my insults and funny things to get back at people. I had this funny gif of this kid from a wedding because he's really funny. If he drinks, he goes out dancing. I have this funny gif of him dancing. Well, I have a funny video, which I turned into a looping gif and then uploaded it to a GIF site, which automatically throws it into like the Google search keyword. I added keywords to it that would allow it to show up in Google searches. And you guys know who Walder Frey is from Game of Thrones? Well, he is the most miserable guy in the show. One of the funniest guys, just like my friend, miserable and hilarious. So if you go to Google right now and search Walder Frey dancing, you're going to see one of my friends as the number one result. So it's my friend dancing. And then all miserable images of Walder Frey. So you talk about mini screw jobs. What's a way you can really, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to do anything too bad. But now for eternity, my friend, if anybody just wants to Google Walder Frey dancing, the first image is going to be my rat bastard friend. Those are the things that I do to fill my time. I told you guys the Altoids on the table story. I found that when you tell individual interesting stories, just random stuff like that, those are the ones that kind of stick with people. Rather about the theories, the veneers. No, I actually have a friend, and now you search Walder Frey dancing on Google. He's the number one guy. You guys all see him right now. That's him. That's a funny screw job story. And I have others to tell you, but Should I tell another one? Same donkey group of friends. I'm only telling this because one of my friends who I never really hear him laugh that hard. When I told him this story, he laughed really hard. So maybe you guys will kind of feel the same way. In the United States, you got to be 21 to gamble, 21 to drink. I think in Kentucky or something, you could be like 19. And I don't know. I forgot. But what a lot of people do when they're 18 is go up to Canada. You're from anywhere in upstate New York, even downstate. You know, a lot of people, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, go to Montreal. And then you're an adult at 18. You can go out, go to clubs, do whatever you want. So when we were 18, my hometown friends and myself, we went up to Montreal. But obviously you have to get to Montreal. And how did we get there? Well, we had there was like 8 of us. We had one of my friends who had a reliable car that his mom got him when he was like 18. And the other friend had a very unreliable car, like the one you see in movies. Hey, I got like $600. Could we buy that car over there? That's the kind of car that we thought would get us to Montreal. And it's so funny when you're 18, you just don't care. Like, if something happens, we'll figure it out. Well, something certainly happened outside of Albany, right outside of Albany. Like out of a movie, my friend's car, like, it just fully stops. Now, this is a long, you don't have your, triple. He is in a car that is, I'm trying to think of if it even had a tape player, let alone a CD player. This was a miserable car. So, what do? You have to call a tow truck, right? You know, the expenses with the tow, like the kid paid a matter of hundreds of dollars for this car. And then when you hear how much the tow truck guy is telling you it's going to cost to tow it from the side of the highway to however many miles away Albany was, we're like, we don't. Moral of the story, do you want to know what we ended up doing? My friend goes to him, all right, well, how about we trade you the car as payment for towing the car, but you have to let us hit the car with a crowbar first. You heard that correctly. You heard that correct. There's no YouTube. There's no, nobody's taking videos with their camera phone. No one has an iPhone yet. This is like the BlackBerry days. You heard that correct. My friend goes, we'll trade you the car. You can keep the car as payment for towing the car, but we all get to hit it with a crowbar. The guy agreed. The guy agreed to this preposterous trade. We all blasted the car with a crowbar in the middle of the highway outside of Albany, as did the guy. The guy grabbed the crowbar and landed the final blow, towed it away, and that was it. Car was gone. And because you're 18, things just seemed to work. We were right outside of Albany. My plan was, I met my friend freshman year. He was a good friend of mine after the freshman year of college in Boston, lived outside of Albany. My plan was, hey, I'm going to call him. Maybe he can just pick us up, take us to the Albany bus station. We can bus the rest of the way to Montreal. What ended up happening is, we're like, hey, why don't you come with us? We'll pay for your trip. You don't have to worry about a hotel. Just come stay with us. We'll enjoy Montreal for a couple of days. And it worked out. He drove us, and we paid for his trip. Ended up being things like that work out when you're 18. I don't know. It just ended up working out. But the trade-off, the car as payment, but you must allow us to hit it with a crowbar, kind of stuff you're not really going to see much anymore with social media and everybody filming everything. You think a tow truck driver would have the balls to do that? But at the time, it's like, all right, no one around. It's the middle of the night. Boom! Boom! And on that note, that will conclude this episode of the You're Still Here podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. I always enjoy delivering you some nonsense. I chronicle the things in between and make sure I get that to you and try to deliver it in an enjoyable fashion, one that will make you smile so wide that the mask Jim Carrey would actually enjoy it. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, why don't you do me a favor? Like the video. That's right. Subscribe to the channel. Obviously, we have more hockey videos coming out, but you know, this really is my original bread and butter. Actually, this isn't even my original bread and butter. That would be the parodies, which I'm going to try to do a little bit during the off season. But we'll talk about that another day. Thank you guys so much for coming back. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll be back with you as always as soon as I find some time for another episode. Take it easy.